will see hash based indexing. Yeah, for hash based indexing you have to understand first what is hashing technique. What it does is it uses your search key and generates a hash value. Based on that hash value you will be able to find out your data record. Your data in the database will be stored in something called as hash buckets. How will you identify the data you are looking for? By using search key. How will you connect the search key to the hash bucket? Through hash function. Yeah. Hashing will directly map a search key to the record page containing your record. Yeah. And sorry, hash based indexes are very good for equality searches. Like for example, if I want to look for a record containing roll number 30, then I will go for hash based indexing equal to search. But if at all I need a range search, that is like I want students who have marks between 20 to 25, that is a range search, then hashing is not the appropriate indexing for range search. And we have two types of hashing, static hashing and dynamic hashing. As the name suggests, static hashing means once you have decided number of buckets in your hashing hashing function, number of buckets in your hash, then the number of buckets is fixed. Yeah, that is called as static hashing. It says primary pages are fixed and they are allocated sequentially. Okay, but you cannot deallocate your buckets in a hash technique. If at all you are using a hash function, yeah, we'll see what is a hash function and all such. If at all your buckets are full, yeah, in that case then what will you do? You will add the overflow pages whenever required. This is the overflow page. For example, I have these are my buckets, primary bucket pages 0, 2, whatever. These 0 and 2 are the values that you are inserting into your primary bucket page. Once this page is filled and you have to enter more data into this page, what will you do? You will add one more overflow page. Okay. Now, what is a hash function? H of k is called as hash function. You will use the hash function to get the bucket to which data entry with key k belongs. For example, your search key is k. Let's say roll number 30. 30 has to, where should 30 be stored in the hash buckets? Now that answer you will get from the hash function. Okay, this is the hash function, h of k mod m. This h of k can be of the format h of k can be of the format a star key plus b. A and b are constants. Okay, this you can give any value, any constant value into a and b. Now when you apply your hash function you will get a result. Okay, that will be your bucket value, bucket number. M is the number of buckets that you have. If you have 4 buckets, then you say h of k mod 4. If you have 8 buckets, you say h of k mod 8. Okay, we'll see example also. In these in these buckets, okay, this is one bucket, this is one bucket. In these buckets you will be entering data entries. As you can see here, buckets contain data entries. Your search key will give the bin number or bucket number by using the hash key. Your hash key can be of this format: A into key plus B. Let's say A is 1 and B is 0. Then 1 into key is, okay, let me just okay. Here for example, A into key plus B mod M, right? For example, A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0. That implies, what does that imply? Our h of our hash function is equal to k mod m. Yeah. Now what happens with k mod m is, okay, one sec. What happens by using k mod m? Let's take a example, k mod m. Now let's say k is the search key value, that is your roll number or marks. Let's go with marks. K can be marks 20, 21. Let's give underline 21, and then I have 22 and 23. These are my marks. Okay. Now what is the hash function? This is my hash function. H of k is equal to k mod m. In this case, what result is my bucket values. K mod m will give me the bucket number. Now let's say I have a bucket. I have a bucket and okay, this is for example my bucket, and let's go 20 mod m. How many number of buckets I have? 5. Let's take one out. Delete. Okay. Now I have 4 rows. I have 4 values. You can have multiple number of values. That's not an issue, because a page can contain multiple number of records. Okay. Let's not have this. Okay. Let's take insert table 4 and yeah. Okay. Now if I perform k mod m bucket, for example here, let's say if I apply hash function for this, what will I have? 20 mod, let's say mod with percentage. Yeah, percentage, how many number of buckets I have? 4. Then what is the value? Mod m is equal to 20 mod 4 is equal to 0. Let me just 0. the search key? 21. That goes into here 21. Same goes for 22. That is 22 mod 4 is equal to 2. And then 23 mod 4 is equal to 3. So 22 goes into hash bucket 2, 23 goes into hash bucket 3. Now what will happen if I have value 24? So 24, then you will apply your function 24 mod 4 is equal to 0. Whenever you get 0 again, then you will go to here 0. Yeah, sorry, not there, here. Yeah. In this manner, you will fill your hash buckets. Okay. Okay. Let's say this I have filled let's say I have a hashing example. Initially I'm building over ages, for example, and in this I have 4 buckets: bucket 0, bucket 1, bucket 2 and 3. How many number of records it is taking? 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can have any number of pages, any number of records depending on the page size. These are the initial indexes. Now if you see here, these records are not ordered. How are they getting stored? They are getting stored based on your search key value, that is age, and your hash function age mod 4 you will be applying to each and every ages. Yeah, 41 is going into hash bucket value 1. Why 40 mod 4 is equal to 1. And then okay, for example, in this hash function, in this hash table, I want to insert 28. Now let's say 28. How will I do that? Overflow page, that is an additional page with the same bucket value that is stacked on it. It will be queued. Okay, and then you will insert your 33 in there. And for example, I want to delete 31. Then what will I do to find that value? When you are inserting, you will apply the hash function, and when you are searching for values also, you will just apply hash function 31 mod 4, that is equal to 3. 3. Then you will go to bucket value 3, find your value 31, and then delete it there. This is static function. Yeah. Now what is the disadvantage with static function is it is often clustered. If you see here, it makes groups of data. Then it is called as clustered, and your data should be uniformly distributed in your buckets. If you have data such that all age group people are there uniformly distributed, then it is fine. But consider a college database. Will you have all the age groups? No. How will you have ages from 18 to 22? What about people, if you have your hashes that are let's say number of buckets are 8, yeah, and you have only 4 age groups. What about the other buckets? Data will be scarce, or data will not be there or distributed into those extra buckets. That is called as what will that make? Skewed data. Data distribution is called skewed. When will you call something as skewed? If you are sending all your data into one bucket only, and you are adding overflow pages again and again only to this bucket, all the other buckets are empty, then it is called as skewed hashing. That is not good. Then you have to find out a nice hash function. Lot of research is going on there. Now, what if my number of buckets, 4 buckets, are not sufficient? Then you will have new hash function. Instead of using the kmod 4, you will use kmod 8. When you say kmod 8, how many number of buckets you have? 8. Or else you can use kmod 16. How many number of buckets you have? 16 buckets. Yeah. By this, I will redistribute all my overflowed buckets, only overflowed buckets. This is static hashing. And to solve the problems of this static hashing, I will go for dynamic hashing. Yeah, one sec. Yeah, my solution is dynamic hashing. That we'll see in the next lecture.